Alright, I'm going to do another gun review here. This here is a Winchester 1894 30-30 Trapper model. According to the research I did on the serial number, this rifle was made in around 1981. I love this gun. It has the saddle ring here on the side, the stud, and unfortunately it's made from the sintered steel. Obviously you can tell by the finish. It looks like somebody really, I picked this up a gun a while ago. It was a trade I did. The finish is pretty much worn off. They changed their steel after 64. That's always the big deal about the post-64 versus pre-64 Winchester 1894s. There were a few changes from what I understand. Basically the quality went down a little bit. So I think it was like stamped steel for the for the cartridge carrier here, and I think they used like hollow tubes to pins inside, and of course this was changed to sintered steel instead of forged steel. And I'm not sure, I don't really understand the process of sintered steel. It seems to be just a different method for melding the steel together, and from what I understand it doesn't affect the hardness or the quality of the steel, but it was difficult for the steel to take on a good finish. And you can tell that, and it looks to me as though somebody really used this gun quite a bit and wore the finish pretty nicely off here. I have shot the gun, but I do not have a video of me shooting it. It is a fine little weapon. This would be something that, well, the reason I actually got it, to be honest, was I figured this would be a really nice weapon to carry in a truck. This gun does not have the tang safety nor the crossbolt safety, which I really like. All it has is this half-cock position here, which I can even get it to do it. One thing I would say, there it is, there's the half-cock. If you are going to use one of these lever-action rifles, old ones like this, be very careful with it when you're unloading it, because there's no safety essentially on this gun. So if you're unloading this weapon, you know, if you've got 5 in the tube, which again this is the 30-30, I know they make them in 44, or they made them in 44, and well they still make them now, but I wouldn't buy one because it's got the ugly ass safety here or on the tang. But be careful. If you're careful, it shouldn't be any issue. Keep your finger away from the trigger. Obviously, you can run the lever and eject the rounds by just being very careful not to touch the trigger. Also, don't do this if you have a round in the chamber. Be very careful. I would suggest not cocking this weapon, you know, and putting a live round in there until you're actually really ready to shoot, because I know from some people I've talked to about this that it's really easy for this to slip down and have an accidental discharge because, again, of the lack of the safety. Now, I've got some really cool rounds for this. Let me grab those. I should have grabbed them before, but I didn't. I've got a bunch of rounds for it, but these are some of the cool ones that I picked up that I thought were neat. These are Remington hog hammers. And one cool thing about these, look at these bad boys, man. Check these out. Woo! Look at that. Maybe you can see that. Isn't that a gorgeous round with this nickel case and that beautiful hollow point? And according to the statistics here, these things are traveling at about 2335 feet per second, 2,335 feet per second, with muzzle velocity of about 1,800 feet. Okay, so this is not a cartridge to laugh at. I mean, I've got some Winchester ammo, some more Remington ammo, some Hornady. I've got a bunch of different ammo for this, but these rounds just look vicious. So if I was going to use this for a truck gun, for example, this is probably what I would keep in the rifle, just because I love the hollow point. I think it's pretty effective looking. Very mean looking cartridge. So again, these are the hog hammers. Pick them up. They're about $20 for a box of 20 at Academy. That's where I picked these up here in Central Texas. So 30-30 Winchester. Okay, and again, hog hammer. Anyways, though, but this rifle would be really good for a pickup truck. It's one of those weapons that people don't freak out with. If you take your AR-15 and carry it around in your truck and you need to take it out for some reason, you can already imagine the result. You're going to have people flipping out. Maybe the cops get called. A gun like this is kind of innocuous. You know, this is a traditional American weapon. I mean, this is a classic. This is the third Winchester 94 that I've been able to have. I had a regular full-size 94 that was made in 19 1979. My father, I gave him one that I picked up, and this was about 15 years ago. It was nickel plated, and it was made in 1969, and that's a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful gun. But this gun's just really nice. Again, it's got this really compact size, so it's really easy to handle it. You know, I mean, it's nothing. It's got a 16-inch barrel. I do understand, though, that when you're shooting a gun like this with the shortened barrel and you're running something like 30-30 through it, or 44 Magnum, or whatever, 37, you're going to lose some muzzle velocity. From what I understand, you lose about 200 feet per second with the loss of the 4 inches from the standard 1894, which had the 20-inch barrel. Again, this has 16-inch. I also really like the way the saddle ring looks. I think it just gives it a cool look. And again, the wood is beautiful, real nice, just beautiful wood. This is still a you know, Winchester. This is not the U.S. Arms Repeating or whatever they turned into in like 82, 83, something around there. So this is like one of the last years of production for this weapon. I was able to get it at a really good price. I think the finish scared a lot of people. They thought, oh my god, the finish looks terrible. So the gun was sitting there for a while in the store I found it in. I did a trade of my Mauser KR98 for it. I mean, I really liked my Mauser. There's a video on YouTube of me shooting that thing. It was an 1898 KR. It was a KR98 made in 1944, but it was a Russian capture. And I owned that rifle for about, oh god, almost a decade, and decided to kind of clean things out and got rid of that, traded it for this. And I don't regret it at all. I mean, I wish I could just keep accumulating more and more firearms, but as many of you out there know, it's hard to justify just continually buying them, especially if you're married, if you have a wife. So anyway, so I just wanted to share this. I couldn't find any really good reviews of the Winchester 1894 Trapper model. There's a couple videos up, but not many. And I don't have any video of me shooting this thing yet. I have shot it, of course, but I have not had a chance to make a video of the weapon in action, so to speak. But again, a very fine firearm, perfect size for your truck or your car even. Man, I'll keep it behind the seat. I can put it behind my the back seat of my pickup, or on the floor of the back, because I have an extended cab. And this would be just a really nice weapon to have with you in case things get a little hairy. And of course, if you've been watching the news or paying attention to our culture and our society lately, things have been more than freaking hairy, okay? So there's a lot of ugly crap going on, and again, this would be a fine weapon to have with you. Again, it's not as conspicuous as something like an AR-15, which, you know, just helps you. I mean, this gun, nobody would be threatened by this, or feel less threatened by this as they would if they had somebody walking around with an AK-47 or an AR, any of those black guns or AK-looking firearms. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I'll try to make a video of me shooting this when I get a chance. I haven't had a chance to go out in the country for a bit to go and shoot this. I highly recommend this. They're hard to find. They're relatively rare now, especially one without the tang safety or the crossbolt safety, which aesthetically just ruined the gun, in my opinion. Again, carefulness is the key to a weapon like this when you're unloading it. If you've got it all loaded up and need to empty it, just be careful to keep your finger off that trigger. Again, keep that finger off the trigger, just like you would with anything else. Be careful if you've got ammo in here and you're trying to drop the hammer. It's difficult to do. It's a little tricky. There it goes. You gotta be careful. Anyways, and again, the price, if you do find one, you're lucky. If you're lucky, you may be able to find an old one like this for maybe about $500 to $600. I've seen them even going for $1,000, $1,200. Ridiculous. In better shape than this, with the finish. And some I found one with a box, but it turned out it was made in '99 and it had the crossbolt safety. So these old ones, these older Winchesters, are going for about anywhere from $500 to $600. Anyways, that's it. Just thought I'd share this with you. Another review of guns. People seem to like my reviews of guns, even though they're very simple and straight to the point. Maybe that's why people like them. I don't know. Anyways, leave your comments below. And again, beautiful weapon. Beautiful weapon. The Winchester 1894 Trapper. And it is not side eject, as you notice. It is the old school top eject. So that's another aspect to it. Alright, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye-bye.